Hello everyone and welcome to this video channel Science Class I. Today we will study chapter number 7, Conservation of Plants and Animals. In the previous video class we studied the beginning portion of this chapter number 7, Conservation of Plants and Animals. And in today's video class let's continue this chapter number 7. Let's start from textbook page number IT2, continuation from the previous video class, Conservation of Plants and Animals. Today let's see from Wildlife Sanctuary. Wildlife Sanctuary. What is Wildlife Sanctuary? Let's see. Soon Pahle sees a board with Pasmarhi Wildlife Sanctuary written on it. So Pahle sees a board. In that board it is written as Pasmarhi Wildlife Sanctuary, written on that board. So Professor Ahmed explains that killing or poaching or capturing animals in general is strictly prohibited and punishable by law in all such places. Such places here it means in the wildlife sanctuary, in the biosphere reserves. Animals, killing of animals, poaching of animals, capturing of animals are strictly prohibited and it is punishable by law. So here we cannot kill animals in this sanctuary. Those animals living in the sanctuary, wildlife sanctuary. So wildlife sanctuaries like reserve forests provide protection and suitable living conditions to wild animals. So wildlife sanctuaries, it is a reserve for forests as well as it provides suitable living condition. That means suitable habitat, suitable natural habitat for the wild animals. Here we also tells them that people living in wildlife sanctuaries are allowed to do certain activities such as grazing by their livestock, collecting medicinal plants, firewood, etc. But some of the activities are allowed for those people who are living near such type of wildlife sanctuaries. They are the protected area for the wild animals and plants. So for those people who are living near such type of wildlife sanctuaries, they do certain activities. What activities? Say grazing by their livestock. Livestock means here the animals that are reared in our houses. They are called livestock. So animals can graze in this wildlife sanctuary. And collecting medicinal plant, collection of medicinal plant also it is allowed. And some firewood also they can collect from the wildlife sanctuaries. And other activities like killing and poaching of wildlife is strictly prohibited. It is punishable by law. Here let's continue. Some of the threatened wild animals like black buck, white-eye buck, elephant, golden cat, pink-headed duck, gharial, marsh, crocodile, python, rhinoceros, etc. are protected and preserved in our wildlife sanctuaries. Here some of the animals are mentioned. These are the threatened wild animals, say like black buck. It is mentioned here, black buck. I think one of the well-known Bollywood actor, that is Salman Khan, also get punished for killing black buck. I think black buck, it is quite punishable, you know. And white-eye buck elephant, golden cat, pink-headed duck, gharial, marsh, crocodile, python, rhinoceros. You know rhinoceros? It is found in the mainly say Kaziranga National Park is quite famous for having one-horn rhino, etc. So these animals are treated wild animals. So they have to survive in such type of wildlife sanctuaries. These are the protected place for the survival of such type of threatened wild animals. So these are protected and preserved in our wildlife sanctuaries. So Indian sanctuaries have unique landscapes. So Indian wildlife sanctuaries have unique landscapes, say broad level forests, mountain forests, and bushlands in deltas of big rivers. So Indian wildlife sanctuaries are unique. They are located mostly in the broad level forests, mountain forests, and bushlands in deltas of big rivers. So in such places, Indian wildlife sanctuaries are located. It is quite unique for having this. Next, let's continue. It is a pity that even protected forests are not safe because people living in the neighborhood encroach upon them and destroy them. So what it says, even protected forests are not safe. Say the government announced this area is protected, no one is allowed to kill animals like this, even though they announce, and there is a legal punishment also. So people living in the neighborhood encroach upon them and destroy them. So children are reminded of their visit to the zoo. They recall that zoos are also places where animals receive protection. So children are also reminded of their visit to the zoo. Why? Because they know that zoos are also a place where animals receive their protection. So in the zoo also some animals are there, they get protection from killing from other people. Okay, next let's continue. What is the difference between a zoo and a wildlife sanctuary? It is quite difference between a zoo and a wildlife sanctuary. So here zoo is just we can consider as a zoological garden. Some species of animals are there we can see, whereas in the wildlife sanctuary it is reserved, it is protected area for both plants and animals. They live in such type of place, sanctuary. In terms of area, wildlife sanctuary is much more bigger than a zoo. So many wildlife species can take shelter in the wildlife sanctuary. So zoo and wildlife sanctuary are quite different. Here, activity 7.7, let's see. Visit a nearby zoo and observe the conditions provided to the animals. Where they suitable for the animals? Can animals live in artificial setting? Here we have to visit a nearby zoo. So for our state Manipur, one zoological garden is there at Irishemba. It is located in the Uripo Kangchup Road, around 5 or 6 kilometers from the heart of the city, and Irishemba Zoological Garden is there. Then if you visit there, you can see some of the species of animals. So you have to observe that zoo and where they are suitable for the animals. And can animals live in artificial setting? Here, instead of their natural habitat, in your opinion, will the animals be comfortable in a zoo or in their natural habitat? So, animals living in the zoo, they do not get comfort. They cannot get the proper food of them. So, living in the natural habitat is quite good for the animals. So we should establish more number of wildlife sanctuaries in order to get much adaptation for the animals in the natural habitat. Okay, next point, let's see national park. National park. On the roadside, there was another board on which was written Satpura National Park. On the roadside, they can see, the children can see Satpura National Park. It is written on the roadside. Then children are now eager to go there. So most of the children are very eager to go there. Madhavji tells them that these reserves are large and diverse enough to protect whole sets of ecosystems. Then they preserve flora, fauna, landscape, and history objects of an area. Satpura National Park is the first reserve forest of India. So here it is mentioned that Satpura National Park is the first reserve forest of India, and the finest Indian teak is found in this forest. You know, teak, it is one of the very good tree. Its timber is quite good for making, say, furniture items. So it is found in this Satpura National Park. There are more than 100 national parks in India. So in our country, India, more than 100 national parks are there in our country, India. Rock shelters are also found inside the Satpura National Park. So inside the Satpura National Park, rock shelters are also found. So these are evidences of prehistoric human life in these jungles. These give us an idea of the life of primitive people. So rock shelters are also found inside the Satpura National Park. Satpura National Park, inside it, rock shelters are there, and these are the evidences of prehistoric human life in this jungle, and this gives us an idea of the life of primitive people, the life of the ancient people. Rock paintings are found in these shelters. So rock paintings are also found. A total of 55 rock shelters have been identified in Pasmarhi Biosphere Reserve. In the Pasmarhi Biosphere Reserve, a total of 55 rock shelters have been identified. So figures of animals and men fighting, hunting, dancing, and playing musical instruments are depicted in these paintings. So by observing in these rock paintings, it is found that men fighting, hunting, dancing, and playing musical instruments, these activities are depicted in these paintings. So many tribals still live in the area, in this Satpura National Park. As children move ahead, they see a board with Satpura Tiger Reserve, Satpura Tiger Reserve, written on it. As children move ahead, so they see a board and it is written as Satpura Tiger Reserve. Satpura Tiger Reserve also there, and it is written on it. And Madhavji explains that Project Tiger was launched by the government to protect the tigers in the country. So in order to protect the tiger, this Project Tiger was launched by the government to protect tigers in the country. The objective of this project was to ensure the survival and maintenance of the tiger population in the country. So the aim of this project is to ensure the survival and maintenance of the tiger population. If we do not establish such type of tiger project, then the population of the tiger will reduce, and even the tiger will be extinct from the Indian soil. So establishment of such type of Project Tiger is quite good for the survival and maintenance of tiger population in our country. Next page, let's move on. Next page. Are tigers still found in this forest? I hope I can see a tiger. Oh. Here what it says, let's see. Tigers are still found in this forest. Oh. I hope I can see a tiger. Yes, tiger is still there. Here, tiger figure number 7.4, a tiger is shown here. Is one of the many species which are slowly disappearing from our forest. So tiger is also one of the animal. They are slowly disappearing from our country's forest. But the Satpura Tiger Reserve is unique in the sense that a significant increase in the population of tigers has been seen here. So by establishing such type of Project Tiger here in the Satpura Tiger Reserve, it is quite unique, and in the sense that significant increase in the population of tiger has been seen here. So people are restricted for killing and hunting of tigers. So in this Satpura Tiger Reserve, number of tigers being increased. Once upon a time, animals like lions, elephants, wild buffaloes, figure number 7.5, a wild buffalo is shown here, wild buffalo. Say wild buffalo, figure number 7.5 you have seen, and Barasingha, figure number 7.6, Barasingha is also shown here, Barasingha. Then we are also found in the Satpura National Park. So in the Satpura National Park, not only the tiger, wild buffaloes and Barasingha are also found in the Satpura National Park. Animals whose numbers are diminishing to a level that they might face extinction are known as the endangered animals. So here we meet a term that is called endangered animals. Endangered animals are nothing. They are the animals, they are still living, but they are about to extinct because they are facing so many problems. Say some of the problems we can mention because of the hunting by the people, human, and because of lack of their food and shelter. That is also one point. And so those animals, they are still living, but they are about to extinct because of some factors. So such type of animals are called endangered animals. So Buzo is reminded of the dinosaurs which became extinct a long time ago. So you have seen movies or say from the television or from the picture, dinosaur. Dinosaur has been extinct. So we cannot see dinosaur, it is extinct. So like that, some animals are about to extinct. Still they are living, but they become endangered because of some factor. So we need to protect such type of endangered animals, otherwise they will extinct. Survival of some animals has become difficult because of disturbances in their natural habitat. So animals become extinct. It is because of the disturbance in their survival. So Professor Ahmad tells them that in order to protect plants and animals, strict rules are imposed in all national parks. Some strict rules are imposed in all national parks. Human activities such as grazing, poaching, hunting, capturing of animals, or collection of firewood, medicinal plants, etc. are not allowed. So, human activities, say grazing, poaching, hunting, capturing of animals, or collection of firewood, medicinal plant, etc. are not allowed. So, are only big animals facing extinction? Not only the big animals, smaller animals also they are facing extinction. Say Madhavji tells Pehle that small animals are much more in danger of becoming extinct than the bigger animals. So small animals are much more facing danger of becoming extinct than the bigger animal. At times, we kill snakes, frogs, lizards, bats, and owls ruthlessly without realizing their importance in the ecosystem. So, in our ecosystem, living all the animals is very important. If one specific type of animal or species has been extinct, then it affects to our natural ecosystem. So by killing them, we are harming ourselves. So if the humans kill animals, then we are harming ourselves. They might be small in size, but their role in the ecosystem cannot be ignored. So the animal we kill, they might be small in size, but their role in the ecosystem cannot be ignored. So their role in the ecosystem is quite big. They form part of food chains and the food webs, about which you learn in class 7. So in class 7, you know about the food chains and food webs. So, food chain, the transfer of energy from one level to another. There is trophic level, that is called food chain. And interlocking network of the food chain, that is called food web. We already know in class 7 about this term. So, if we kill all the species, if we kill one particular species of animal, then it affects to our food chain or food web. An ecosystem. An ecosystem is made of all the plants, animals, and microorganisms in an area along with non-living components, such as climate, soil, river deltas, etc. So, ecosystem is made of all the plants, animals, and microorganisms in an area along with non-living components. Non-living components may be climate, soil, river deltas, etc. Now let's move on next page. Here, I wonder if there is any record of all endangered species. Yes, there is a record of any endangered species. So first let's see red data book. What is red data book? Let's try to know what is red data book. Professor Ahmed explains about red data book to the children. Then what is red data book? Let's see. Here Professor Ahmed explains about red data book to the children. Then what is red data book? Let's see. He tells them that red data book is the source of book which keeps a record of all the endangered animals and plants. So red data book is nothing, it is a book, source of book, and which keeps a record of all the endangered animals and plants. So those endangered plants and animals are recorded in this red data book. So red data book is maintained internationally by an organization. So red data book is maintained by an international organization. So India also maintains red data book for plants and animals found in India. So for our country India, red data book is also maintained for plants and animals. Next, let's see. Here we know what is red data book. Red data book is nothing, it is the source book which keeps a record of all the endangered animals and plants. So figure number here migration. This let's see. The excursion party then enters deeper into the forest under the guidance of Madhavji. Under the guidance of Madhavji, the excursion party then enters deeper part of the forest. Then they sit near the tawa. Near the tawa they sit. And they sit near the tawa reservoir to relax for some time. Pahle observes some of the birds near the river. So near the river, some of the birds are observed by the Pahle. Madhavji tells the children that these are migratory birds. These birds have flown here from other parts of the world. So the Pahle first observed the birds near the river, and Madhavji explained about that birds are migratory birds. So migratory birds are nothing, they are the birds, they fly from other parts of the world. Say for our state Manipur also, migratory birds like say Siberian cranes are rich in our state. In the Siberia region, in the winter season when it is very cold, then they migrate in our state, and when they get their moderate temperature, then they will fly again. Here, what would happen if we had no wood? Is there any alternative available to wood? I know that paper is one of the important products we get from forests. I wonder whether there are any alternatives available for paper. You know, we use paper. Paper is also available from the wood. If we have no wood, then from where we can get paper? Then can we get alternative for the wood? Here it is also quite logical. So paper is one important product of the forest. So whether there are any alternative available for paper. So if alternative means is there, then it is quite better. Here next, let's continue. Migratory birds fly to faraway areas every year during a particular time. Because of climatic changes, they fly for laying eggs as the weather in their natural habitat becomes very cold and inhospitable. Birds who cover long distances to reach another land are known as migratory birds, as Pahle learned in class 7. You know, migratory birds are the birds, they fly long distance. Some of the birds we can mention are Titan and Siberian crane. These are the migratory birds. Recycling of paper, let's see. Recycling of paper. So Professor Ahmed draws attention of the child to another cause of deforestation. So Professor Ahmed draws attention of the children to another cause of deforestation. He tells them that it takes 17 full-grown trees to make 1 ton of paper. So to get 1 ton of paper, we need 17 full-grown trees to get 1 ton of paper. That means to get 1 ton of paper, then we need 17 full-grown trees. So therefore, we should save paper. We should save paper. Professor Ahmed also tells that paper can be recycled 5 to 7 times for use. After one use, we can recycle paper, and after some process, then we can use that paper. So recycling is one process. If each student saves at least 1 sheet of paper in a day, we can save many trees in a year. So we should save, reuse, use paper and recycle it. So it is better to sap paper, and if we use, then it can be reused again after recycling. So by this we not only save trees but also save energy and water needed for manufacturing paper. So for manufacturing paper, if we save paper, then it also not only save energy and water also that are needed for manufacturing paper. Moreover, the amount of harmful chemicals used in paper making will also be reduced. So at the time when paper is making, harmful chemicals used in paper making, so use of that type of harmful chemicals also will reduce if we save paper. Here, is there any permanent solution to the problem of deforestation? In the problem of deforestation, is there any permanent solution? Any permanent solution is there to the problem of deforestation? Still not yet. Let's see. Reforestation. What is reforestation? From this part, let's try to learn. Professor Ahmed suggests that the answer to deforestation is reforestation. Yes, Professor Ahmed suggests that the answer to deforestation is reforestation. Here, reforestation is nothing. It is the plantation of trees in the particular area in order to make forest. That is called reforestation. Reforestation is restocking of the destroyed forest by planting new trees. So here it is also mentioned, reforestation is restocking of the destroyed forest by planting new trees. The planted trees should generally be of the same species which were found in that forest. So we have to plant the same type of the trees in the destroyed forest. We should plant at least as many trees as we cut. If we cut a tree, then we should try to plant as many trees as we can. If we practice like that, then it is better to maintain deforestation. So reforestation can take place naturally also. And if the deforested area is left undisturbed, then it re-establishes itself naturally. This is quite true. So in this modern world, because of the increased number of human population, most of the forest area becomes destroyed and construction of the buildings and parks are converted. It is also one means of deforestation. In natural reforestation, there is no role of human beings. So we have already caused tremendous damage to our forest. So naturally reforestation can be done, and if we have to retain our green well for future generations, plantation of more trees is the only option. So plantation of more trees is the only option. So Professor Ahmed told them that in India we have the Forest Conservation Act. So in our country, India, we have Forest Conservation Act. Even though this act is there, people are still cutting down big trees. Say when a new nursery tree is planted, then it may take 15 to 20 years when it becomes full grown. It takes more time. So Professor Ahmed told them that in India we have the Forest Conservation Act. What does it say? Let's see. This act is aimed at preservation and conservation of natural forests. So because of this forest conservation Because of this Forest Conservation Act, it aims at preservation and conservation of natural forests and meeting the basic needs of the people living in or near the forest. So this Forest Conservation Act aims at preservation and conservation of natural forests. Even though this act is there, meeting basic needs of the people living in or near the forest. After some rest, Madhavji asks the children to start heading back because it is not available. It is not advisable to stay in the jungle after sunset. So after sunset, it is not advisable to stay in the jungle. So Madhavji asks the children to start heading back. On getting back, Professor Ahmad and the children thank Madhavji for guiding them through this exciting experience. So, Professor Ahmad thanks to Madhavji for guiding such type of exciting experience. So, with that, it comes to the end of this video class. In the next video class, let's meet again. For today, bye.